Volunteers are the heart of hospice and an essential component of hospice and palliative care of Chenango County. The United States hospice movement began in the 1970s as a volunteer-based program, and today, volunteers remain crucial to the maintenance of the philosophy upon which hospice was founded. Volunteers are very important for preserving the community-based spirit of hospice and for providing both quality and personalized care to patients and families. There are a variety of ways volunteers can support patients and their families. Ways in which volunteers provide assistance include keeping a patient company when their caregiver is unavailable, running errands, taking a patient to an appointment, picking up medications, or simply listening. We at Hospice work hard to match specific talents and skills with the identified need of each patient and family, and try to match patients with volunteers that live in their town.
I had one patient, all of her friends had one by one passed on before her, and she had this one particular board game that she loved to play, and she just thought she would never ever have a chance to play it again. Personally, I like to play board games, so it was a real good fit. I went and I played with her several times, and she was just so happy.
I love visiting with them. I love hearing the stories and to see how other people lived and the experiences that they had. While I'm accomplishing that, I'm still helping them and giving them comfort and care.
Volunteers have generous hearts, giving of themselves to enhance the life of another.
I think one of the neatest stories of a volunteer-patient relationship was with a volunteer that has since passed on. He was a pilot, and he actually took his patient up flying. And I mean, the pilot himself was so proud to be able to do that, and I'm sure that the patient was absolutely thrilled. Another volunteer was assigned to a farmer. The volunteer wasn't familiar with farms. He actually went to the library and researched farming so that he had a level ground to talk to this patient with. And I thought that was very extraordinary.
Volunteers cherish time spent with patients, finding tremendous value in volunteering.
We get so much more out of giving than you can imagine. And it's just self-satisfaction, I think, just knowing that we're helping somebody at the end of life have it a little bit easier.
I made a difference in somebody's life today. That's the main goal I do it for, so that I can make a difference like somebody did for us. Because I was a cancer patient myself, so I just wanted to give back like people have given back to me.
Volunteers work to provide patients with quality care and attention, and to provide families with peace of mind.
The families especially, it gives them a chance to do something that they want, and I think that's important for the caregivers to be able to continue their lives somewhat in a normal fashion. Also, a lot of caregivers are fully employed, which was the case, my case. My husband had to go to the doctors every other day for blood draws, and a volunteer come and take him to the doctors so that my work schedule wasn't disrupted. It was great to have the volunteers there so I could keep my job.
There's somebody qualified, they knew what to look for, it gives you peace of mind. My father died of pancreatic cancer and they were right there. We were able to sleep through the night.
Many of the patients, the families have written or called or contacted in some way afterwards and just say they just don't know how they would have done it without a volunteer.
Family and patient volunteers are trained to provide the best possible care and assistance for you and your loved ones. They must complete a comprehensive 24-hour training course before making independent patient visits and must attend annual continuing education and services.
We've been trained and have made a vow that we're going to take care of their loved ones.
I felt comfortable, I felt like they knew what they were doing.
I had no question about the quality of the volunteers that were coming. I had no fears as to having volunteers come into my home.
Hospice volunteers make a difference with their heads, their hearts, and their hands.
She was happy that she could reminisce, so I think that could have enhanced the end of her life. I think that was a good service that we could provide.
I had a gentleman that had a very colorful life, and he had told his wife this so many times that she was tired of hearing, and he needed some different years. I like to think that maybe he died with a smile on his face because he had been able to relate that to someone in his wife's tired years.
The Remember Me Legacy program is a formal program in which specially trained volunteers help record memories and messages for future generations.
Every person has a story, whether you're 80 or 30 or 15. There are things that need to be said or told that would be a wonderful gift to be left to loved ones. And just what a little treasure it would be to have someone's voice just recorded as a memory and a gift to have with them for the rest of their lives.
The history and philosophy of hospice care is deeply rooted in volunteer work, and volunteers will forever ensure that the spirit of hospice is kept alive.
I just like to help people.
I think that's, what this is all about, volunteering